channel. I'm your host, Lady Caren. How are you guys today? Moderation helps everyone feel safe. Yes, it does. I don't have to be moderate. Right. Yeah, no, I don't have anybody doing my channel. Because nobody talks at my channel. But to help you feel safe, yes. So we are in April still. It's April 22nd. Earth Day is over. And just gonna bring them. Do I have everything? Okay. So we have to figure out dinners for the week and all that jazz. So do you have to join me? You join me. Let's get comfy. Thank you for getting comfy with me. I tried so hard to get on here, and I kept thinking I was going to get on here. I was going to get on here. I was going to get on here, and it didn't happen. I need to get things organized. So, what do I want organized? I want to get my to-do list written for the day. And I want to get my weekly meal plan. That is not how you spell weekly. You just add random letters. Okay. Write it out. Weekly meal plan. Plan. And then take out letters in another word. Okay, so that I sliced and diced it. I may be more dyslexic than I give myself credit. I should think, dyslexic. I don't have a whole bunch of scrambled words, but it shows up delicately there and here. It doesn't flip words or turn words upside down or change them for me. But apparently I put the L for plan inside weekly because there were 2 L's in my weekly. So my brain does like to go from back to forward and forward to back, because if I go forward, it's like, what are we planning? But I'm like, here's my goal. Oh, what do I need for that goal? Well, I need this done. How do I get that? Well, I need that done. And I need this and this and this and this. And it'll go backwards. This to get this to get that to get this to get that. So it'll from the back, from the furthest point this way, it likes to work. I see, I don't know how we call it. I'm trying to think of the word. Okay, so what best, so my words have decided to go my words. So my vocabulary, the words that I use, and the way that I manage my English language, that I manage to use my English language to communicate, has decided to evaporate and flitter off and go someplace. All right, so to best describe in a simile what it is for me to read and write. To see, I don't know if it's like a metaphor that might be it. No, probably not. But that is good. Okay, so for me to visually be farsighted, these are for farsighted to read up close. But to walk and do everything that I need to do, I take the glasses off with a depth perception. But to read and anything in my Bible, like bubble, anything that's within my bubble. So in and bubble make Bible. But it doesn't. But I mean the words, the in Bible. No. All right. So I have this bubble of vision. Anything inside this bubble, it's blurry. It's wrong. I can't. If you throw me a set of keys and it gets to this point and I'm trying to catch it, by the time it gets here, I'm gonna miss the keys every time, or whatever ball or thing you're gonna throw to me. But if you throw outside, or I catch it before it gets into the bubble of I can't see, I basically can't see in here. Like there's this dome of I can't see. It's all blurry. The depth perception's off when it gets this close. But I'm farsighted, so everything out there I can see. Anything that's basically dashboard-ish, like when you're driving to like the road signs and I can see. So like reading a menu in a restaurant, yeah, that's up on the wall in the fast food restaurants. Yes, I can see those. Can I read a menu inside of a sit-down restaurant that says, yeah, no, I cannot. Very well, I'm totally illiterate without glasses. Font gets worse, I don't like the fonts. So knowing that, and it's funny because do I make plans and executive, if I'm able to make plans and have an executive function, I have to see the end goal and work my way back up. I like, oh, today I want to get this done. I want to do this next. I want to do that next. I want to do this. No, that doesn't work for me. So knowing myself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my ultimate goal and work my way back so that it makes more sense. And the maps and the little fruits, they draw themselves together. And it all makes sense and it works. All right, so I'm going to breathe because I need to breathe. And if you'd like to breathe with me and it's safe for you to do so, I invite you to do it with me. But will I instruct you on your breathing? No, I am not certified for that. That is your warning. If you're like, well, she said, and she knows what she, no, I don't. But I do understand from what I have seen in videos. Do I have a piece of hair here? No. But what I do understand from the videos that I've seen and the information that I have is that turns off the pipeline and activates the number, no, yeah. It just makes everything doable. Less cortisol and adrenaline and more just functioning. Hold, and then I'm gonna breathe out. Gonna breathe in. I'm gonna hold it. And I'm gonna breathe out. Slowly through my mouth. I'm going to breathe in my nose. I let it head all the way back to the back of my head. And hold. I'm gonna breathe out. And allow my muscles to relax as I breathe out. The top of my body, all the way to our toes. Just relax. Just puddle. Puddle. And hold. Breathe in through my nose and straighten up. I'm gonna hold. And I'm gonna let it out. I breathe in through my nose. Filling up my belly. I'm gonna hold it. Or 3 heartbeats. And I'm gonna let it out. And relaxing. I feel good. So that was fun. Alright. See what the moon is doing. We had that full moon on the 20th. Or that new moon on the 20th, and we have a full moon on May 5th or 6th. Oh, those up. But oh my gosh. Okay, so far this up was free, but it has not the features that if you go premium, it has more features. And it's not associated, nor are they paying me and sponsoring me. But I love it still. Okay, moon eggs is what I've been watching. I love the way the moon is in the live thing. So it's pretty. I mean, you just sit there. My kiddo loves just running their thumb over because then it changes the moon phase. Yeah, it's fun. Anyways, but here we are unboxing croissants. I can't do it. Croissant is not the same as croissant. Is it? Croissant? Croissant? Oh, I'll have to look at the French. Okay, and then it's just the silver lights. It's only 9% illuminated. 9% of it's illuminated. There's no moonset. It rises at 9:34 a.m. Does that mean that there's no moonset? Let's Google to say about it. No moonset. No. I don't. A day without a moonset. It caught my attention that a couple of days there would be a day without a moonset. Astronomical league. What does moonset lead? There's such thing as a moonset. How does moonset work? Each day the moon moves about 13 degrees along its nearly circular orbit. The incremental movement causes daily moonrise and moonset locations to shift eastward. Eastward. That way? That would be that way. That way goes with the higher? No. That way goes with the higher. And the higher goes that way. So east. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, therefore, relative to one's home, the moon rise and set is at slightly different east and west locations, effectively, and at a later time each day. So the moon doesn't set till tomorrow? Why doesn't the moon set? Because the Earth rotates 28 times for every orbit of the moon. So you get more days in the month than you get more moon sets. If we have watching first sunset and then moonset, why one and the other filled the void? Total opposite. No moonrise. When the moon rises after midnight, does not return any moonset. This moonrise 36. Set. This doesn't seem to be. It's just okay. Anyways, so that is that. But yesterday, I realized I forgot to check for rainbows. Nice. May or may not be true. Okay. I did. I forgot to check for rainbows. The cusp between Aries and Taurus, it seems that there is always rain. When Aries moves into Taurus, it seems like it rains that day, but it's also sunny, so it's always a day to look for rainbows between your Aries, spontaneous and excessive and traveling and going in sprint-oriented people versus people who are fixed on certain habitual ways of life, and it works for them because they slowly, steady build their wealth and their ways, and Taurus people tend to, and that when the sun signs at Taurus, when they tend to be what do you call it? Taurus people they tend to enjoy the quality of life that is rich and satiated, satisfactory. But that's poor. It doesn't have the luxurious, rich, and kind of flavor on the tongue words. Yeah. So it's they like good food, a beautiful environment. They work out at and they study and they have their rest. And they don't like change as much because if you change too often a method of what you're doing or an organization, or if you're building, say, a lifestyle, and you change it so often, or you nitpick at it too much, or change too often, you're not going to build this result. If you practice, then you keep changing something of it, it might not work if you mess with it. If it's not broken, why fix it, kind of thing. Whereas Sometimes you just keep adjusting things till you get it right, and either life, either, method of doing things, either lifestyle, either way is good. I mean, they both have their pluses and their minuses. They're different results that you can take or leave. Way of doing things. Trying to build a lifestyle that encompasses or adapts well to thoughts that you can change or that you can just keep as it is. Good. That's the fun part. Didn't think of the nice opportunity because the food is always good. Cooking, perfecting the cooking. I mean, you can get really good at mac and cheese every day if you eat mac and cheese every day, and then if you add changes. Instead of eating a whole bunch of different things, you add your changes to your mac and cheese until you find a preference and you revisit your traditional classic. These are the ways that things get. Sorry, I need to adjust. Yes. So the kinds of things that life gets better, makes better. You consider that. And that's what you want to consider setting your meal plan. Uh, where does it fit for yourself, or where does it fit for me to be consistent? This works and this works and this works. And where does it need to change up the ingredients, the recipes, the availability of the foods that I buy so that I don't buy the same? But I have one that I've been buying the same thing over and over. Like the seasons change here, so we used to. I used to go from winter to spring to summer. It seems that we went from winter to summer. Yeah, crazy. I wonder what else we have. Crazy. I wonder how we're gonna heal the planet. So coming up with meal plans and what's available and what we're going to make available. Or to strawberries, potatoes, and things like that. So yeah, okay, so to make a meal plan. Oh, yeah, weekly meal plan. I already wrote that up. Did weird things with the else. So what else we have to do? To do lists. We still have to work on goals. Sometimes it helps me sort what do I need to get ready for tomorrow. What do I need to get ready for today? So I'm wondering that I want it done by Friday. then, so I have to, there's some clothes that I have to get ready for the week. And laundry that I have to put away and fold that hasn't been done for like less than a month, which has been getting out of the pile. And it has been difficult to find outlets. I have to go in there because I'm the one that puts them in the boot pile, and I've seen the clothes that are in there and go through them, sort them, made a bigger mess. So I've started dividing them out. I like per person, like this pile is this person, this pile is this person. Well, I threw this wash in, or I'm going to fold this one, put it away. Fold and put away is sort of like a single task sometimes. Sometimes it is folding as a single task, and putting away is a different task altogether. I have noticed the funny thing is that we put dishes in a different spot when we like my dad doesn't put away my dishes that are plastic for some reason. Probably protesting, which he hates plastic. Which, yeah, not wrong. Not wrong at all. And so I'm going to continue Saturday. Sunday, I'm here inside 5 o'clock to accomplish. Self-care. Okay, so it's like face wash, brush teeth, all that stuff. I'll make a daily. So I want to develop a morning ritual, or what I incorporate in each morning ritual, or whatever something would help. So yeah, ritual. That's also the same thing each in the mornings. Did you guys want? I would say, did you guys want to join me? But there's I'm talking about. I'd say leave a comment. If that's something that you want, or a like button. The like button, if that's easier, so that you don't pop up and don't have a name, don't have association, where I can find you. So I was watching this series, Caren, DC series. I found it on HBO. So Robin has to. So Batman has gone awry. He's crossed the line. It's this sort of thing where he's killed Joker. So Robin decides to tell the local PD after Gordon died, the Gotham PD, and help them bring in Bruce Wayne. Batman's well, Batman isn't the guy. So the guy is Bruce Wayne, who who uses Batman as a vigilante cure for band-aid for uh, conditions of Gotham City. So it's so many players in all of that. But what happens is Robin tries to talk to Batman before to get him to give himself up and come in and get some help. And he uses these key phrases. This guy, right? So Batman's on a not a literal ledge, the mental ledge. He's grieving. He's not altogether in the here and the now, in the continuing in a healthy place. So he uses, "I'm going in to get you," So this guy has martial arts training and as combat, lots and lots of combat. And he uses the phrase, I'm going to come and get you so that we can end this. Okay, so totality? Like, are you trying to bring Batman in? The totality and the thoughts? This is all being done up in his head. And Robin's head. This didn't actually happen. So this is all in Robin's head that this demon has created this world, this virtual world. And he's going to bring a guy who's on edge, who's aggravated, and he's going to use words like "get you." We are all going to get you. Like, does that sound doom, 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 and it exasperates the situation. Exaggerates, escalates. It escalates the situation that Batman is in. I wonder how Batman doesn't really annihilate the rest of the police department. It's so I have to wonder. The way he thinks. So the words that we use that have this overall thought, that has this three-dimensional meaning, because words are trying to paint the picture of our experience. That's what I'm trying to do with this podcast, right? I'm trying to show this world where I have gone through trauma, I have gone through crazy hectic attention deficit disorder, hyper deficit disorder. Yeah, attention deficit hyper disorder. Anyways, it has caused my life to dysfunction. And then I have autism, which when my brain looks at social structures differently than the way that the social construct has been created in my social circles. The way that we speak, the way that we're taught that the words are meant versus the way that somebody who's neurotypical is taught that the words imply a hidden meaning. Read between the lines, which is odd because there was a PBS show when I was growing up. Between the lines, and it had a library and 2 lions in it, and it's supposed to be, I think, punny. Like, it's supposed to show the underlining meaning between stories, read into it. So if you wonder, how are you supposed to read the different stories of the people who write on scrolls and constructed into the canons that constructed into Bible, but these things that we structure ourselves, our words, our essence, our meaning, the way we want to convey our experience and our perception. And I romanticize, that I get up and I do my yoga and I do my meditation and I have, and I have a nice little me moment and I wash up and get dressed and I'm ready for the day and whatever the day has for me and whatever I want to accomplish today, that I'm getting things done and I'm helping people out and is that real? No, sometimes kids wake up at different times. The kid could wake up at 4 o'clock, and another day they can wake up at like noon on a weekend or on school day, or just they're growing. They don't need to consistently wake up at the same time unless the need for consistency in scheduling and uh, rigorous structure outweighs the need for that structure outweighs the need for the variables of growth, where they'll adjust to the fact that they only got so many hours of sleep, or that their body is growing and wants more sleep to grow the muscles, the brain, and all these things, um, rather than custom the amount of sleep that you need to. But that structure allows them to adapt if it's more rigorous. So, and learning about yourself, which is vitally essential, learning about myself and learning how to customize the way I live to myself. That's different. So I'm seeing and I am touched, and my subconscious really resonates. It's really drawn to, and to me, it's so obvious. It's a big deal to me. These small things that may be smaller to other people. Like somebody may just be obsessed with cheese, and cheese is their waking thought to they're going to sleep, and they're completely obsessed with the process, the history, the different types of cheese, the different things you can do with cheese. They've got cheese memorabilia, they got cheese, they travel the country or the world to different parts, exploring different cheese tours. They go on cheese tours and they wait for this epic so and so has a great cheese event, and their whole world is niched into cheese. And for their neighbors or for people that may not be in their circle, cheese is something they may or may not have with their. I can feel the fuss. Where did I get the fuss cup of paper? I don't fuzzy stuff. Where this produces the fuzz? Yes. So they have, like they may not eat cheese like hardly at all. They may not eat cheese, throughout their whole entire week. And so, but having an expert that can up their cheese experience when they do have cheese benefits them. That way they have a good experience with cheese. And they could benefit from the guy who's completely obsessed and hyperfixated on cheese. I am sensitive. They call it sensitive. I am sensitive. So if there's a piece of fuzz or there's, like the tag gets you or something, you could feel it on your body. The nerves are the processing part of my brain that realizes that there is something that you're taught to ignore as a child. Oh, leave that alone. Don't mess with that. A lot of people can ignore it. And then I found out that if you're autistic, you may not be able to ignore it. The part that processes ignoring that is a secondary sense. If it numbs out the fact that you you know you have no idea that the pants are on, you forget you're wearing pants, but you know that you're wearing pants throughout your day. Now I'm aware of how I'm wearing pants and how it feels to stretch my pants and how my pants feel throughout the day. It's ever present. I can try to focus all my attention on something else, but my so yeah. So my obsession, my cheese with this story is autism and faith. And it's to me, it's very natural. It's very natural to have faith. It's very natural to have this autism in this way that a lot of things are more obvious to me that people have learned to ignore and put aside, and if they just don't notice certain things in their environment because they're taught not to, or they're taught that it's not as important, or they just don't have the need to do it. And the connections, everything is connected and associated, and there's a web of connection there, like how things affect other things, like certain laws are going to come out, whether or not they're enforced, or this law, that law, that type thing. So I have not gotten any of these things all organized, and I need to get that organized before my kids are awake and distracting, because with the ADHD, it makes it very difficult to get these thoughts compiled and organized and defragged. It's just like an open file of I need to do this, just sitting there, rather than run the program, put the program back where it belongs. And it's just random. It's just my programming. And it wears on my RAM immediate memory. It makes it more difficult. So I need to learn what structure is my healthy structure and what customs to me and my space for doing things. So what do I want to do in the morning? So I do get a result from the deep breathing. I do get a result from meditating in the morning, and trying to set my intention for the day is difficult. I have to try to scoop up and look at my goal, my faraway goals, so that I can better construct my more immediate tasks and desires and ways of doing things. So, what needs done, what is bothering me. So, yearly, do I want to clean up my finances from April 2nd? So, if I put that in the calendar, how much time do I want to spend per day? And I also have decided that the years where I'm an odd age from my birthday to my birthday will be the day where I Swedish death clean, where I get through and go through all the things in my life that I don't want, or I put in for a time and a place, so this is saved specifically for this, and if I don't use it by then, I'm going to get rid of it. And then the even years, I want to bring in stuff. So I've dreamed of riding motorcycles, so I want to do that. And what intimidates me, so I'm going to want to bring a motorcycle into my life. So the next year, if I don't like it, I can get rid of the motorcycle and helmets and the things. That's the other thing. What intimidates me is that there is a culture that comes with motorcycle riding, that it's been around long enough that there is a culture. So you can't just get a motorcycle, get a license, and then get a couple accessories like a helmet and drive. No. It's not so much getting a license, it is getting an endorsement on your license. But anyways, so you get on a license and you just drive, and there's insurance and accessories, and then there's things that, for me, it's like I've learned that you can't just get something. There isn't just these items that you just get. like butter knife. And then you have to have the sharpener. And then you have to have like you can get like the most affordable is just to get a block sharpener, or if you want to do it real well instead of just the ones that you just sharpen like the dollar store or like regular grocery store sharpeners. There's these whetstones. These whetstones. We got the whetstones and realized the whetstones need a case or a case for them to dry on, or like I just want a knife. So to clean the knife and then to clean the handle, because otherwise the wear and tear of the handle can fall off depending on the grade it's made. Then, storing the knives, keeping the knives out of the reach of the children. I'm teaching the children how to use it when they're, old enough, and how to use it safely so that prevent injuries, because even adults can get injured from using knives. So the care of the knives, yeah. So then, like for like the knife wooden handle, there's oils and preserves and like care for wooden utensils and food. It's like your cutting board, your wooden cutting board. There's a way to care for your wooden cutting board, and there's a way to care for your cutting board as there is for your knife. So not just get a knife. That's how do you take care of a knife if you want it to last? Especially if you get a good quality. I would invest it. Get say this device is a laptop. So there's power cords, there's accessories, there's screen protectors, there's things that if I want to protect the camera from recording and being turned on, like when I'm not around. There's where you store it, how you properly store it. There's those things with that airflow, so that if you're sitting on the bed or something and you have it on there, it allows for the airflow instead of getting gunk in like these weird random fuzzies that bother me. Don't get into and the care for. And then there's the defragging, the upgrading the software, and kids like to put on I bought a sticker for my kid. It was running a sticker company. Like they were buying stickers and selling stickers. And yeah, that one was nice. They had a short little business. Now they're looking at wanting to do merch. They found a logo. Yeah, it's cute. Hopefully it works and hopefully it's successful. But it gets to be there are thoughts. Okay. It gets to be interesting is that when you're like minimalist, like how are these minimalists existing? Because I'm getting rid of stuff and going, oh, I could have used that. Now I have to find a new one, and this is not fair because I don't want to have to find a new one. I want just that. Like all this stuff is not fair. That I don't want to have to get, like you can't just buy an outfit. You have to have, like ways of treating your clothes, cleaning your clothes, storing your clothes, dressers and stuff. And you have this whole culture built around fashion and knives. There's a culture around knives. The sellers and the buyers and the whole, there's knife throwing. There's things you can do with knives. There's forging. There's how deep do you want to get into it? It's just like, oh, I want to crochet something. So it's very difficult. But how you want to. It's the other calling that I've had was to make the studio where you can go and sample all these different arts and crafts stuff where you can go and you can fix your appliances yourself inside. You want to fix your blender, your coffee pot, and to upcycle your items, to redo to sew, to crochet, and you don't have to buy all the stuff to go do it. You just come over and into the studio and you just use the paints and the threads and all that, and then you can go and you can make it, or you can donate to upcycle to pay for things. It's in my head, it's very elaborate, and I've been trying to think what's the most basic part of this studio so that I can build it up from this part to build to that part to that part to that part. Um, yeah, like in the studio, if I have a cafe or a coffee shop to support, because coffee shops make a lot of money, like the church that had a coffee shop in it, church did phenomenally financially because the coffee shop brought in so much from the thing that they could run their organizations, they could travel, they did great stuff for the youth groups. They used the money to help the church, to help the members in the church, and all that stuff. If I did that, I would have to have ways of cleaning up. And what would happen if you were to drink coffee while you arts and crafts? You don't want to mix the meal. But I have to have a bunch of rules and all that stuff. And you can't just open a store. You have to have a storefront and advertisement and things like that, and the physical stuff and the physical. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I should let you guys go. I spent maybe an hour. And it's time to get everything going for the household. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna go make a quiche. It's the weekend. Yeah. But love you. I hope you guys do well. Until next I see you. The next you see me or to next we meet. Have a good one.